YouTube, there's something wrong with it. It doesn't like me, which is what it is, isn't it? So back again. Oh my God, we're back again. In the words of the Backstreet Boys, we're all doing it really well. This is going to be just a shortish show, a shortest little update for you, which I'm probably sure that you've all seen this morning from or and stuff like that. But I thought I'd get my 2 pence in as it was this morning. So if you have just joined, if you've seen it, breaking news that United have gone back in for Martinez of Aston Villa. I don't know what details are. This has been broken by Fabrizio Romano in the last couple of hours. I saw this develop overnight. I saw this develop, and I decided that I wouldn't necessarily come on and start by that. Is that it's very, very strange why we didn't just pull the trigger at by that. It's very, very strange why we didn't just pull the trigger at 17 million. You know, earlier on in the window, I think it was clear that we needed a keeper. It's really, really clear to me, anyway, that we needed a goalkeeper, and we just not moved at all. So the fact that breaking news for me, so Martinez is for me back on the table. I've been talking about this keeper now for quite some time. I wanted him weeks ago, and I don't know why we wouldn't have put in this bid for him weeks and weeks ago. So only now we're going to make our move this late into the window. I think that we're making a move for him because I don't think we believe that Lemens is number one. I genuinely think that as a club and the people behind the scenes are looking at Onana and they're going, we need a goalkeeper who is ready, who can come in, who's ready to go, who can make an impact in this team, who can command his box. Now, one of the things I saw yesterday, which I'm going to be logical and I'm going to be fair, are you no Jesus? My friend Endler Cloud Chow. Sorry, mate, I'm probably destroying your name. I'd even come on here just to hear me pronounce names. I'm not going to get into that this morning, mate. Whatever you're doing this morning, I know it's a Sunday and it's a holy day, right? But I don't get into all that on here. But if you do, have a wonderful day. Lemens is a keeper for the next 10 years. Martinez is one for 2 years. Exactly, Scott. I think we should get both. I don't think we will. Sonny Lemens will be a mistake. He will be a mistake. I mean, if you watched anything of Real Madrid last night, and the reason why I mentioned that is because of a certain young left back that we had. I'm not going to mention names because it's just going to bug me. But we had a certain left back, young left back at this club that we let go. Went to Benfica, and well done, Scott. Thank you, buddy. Yeah. So we make these mistakes a lot. Lemens for me, I think is a one-time deal. I think if we don't get him, and I do think we should. So if you have just joined breaking news, Emi Martinez is back on the scene now. I agree with Scott on this one. Martinez, I get it. I do get it, but it's very, very short-termism. Lemens, for me, if there was a deal to get him next season and he was prepared to wait a season and come maybe next season, then yes, or come as a number 2, then fine. But I'm really confused. I'm really, really confused as to why we'd be chasing him the whole of this window and Lemens, and then at the last second we pivot to a key. It just baffles me. I don't know. And I need to go back to what Omar said. So at the beginning of the window, Omar said, we've had a plan since April. Okay. Now, Delap was that plan. And now he's been injured. And Jackson has been stopped now from going to Bayern Munich and has to stay at the club. So, in some respects, if that was your plan, so it is an inferior striker, in my opinion, who's now injured. So that could have been your plan. And people have said we spent 74 million on Shesko and he's not played yet. But we haven't spent that on him. We spent about 64 million, and but this window's been a baffling window, and I'm looking forward probably on Tuesday when it all shuts. When it all shuts on Tuesday, we can talk about the window then and what we're going to score this window. So tomorrow is going to be lots and lots of this sort of stuff. This club can't make their mind up. We need a keeper and a CM. It's just 24 hours left in the window. Why talk to them over a week and turn your attention to a different... Exactly, Scott. There's no talk of a CM. One of the biggest mistakes we're going to make this season is not getting a CM, and we're going to get punished for it. We're going to get punished unless Aaron's going to be tasked with putting round pegs in square holes, square pegs in round holes, and he's going to be forced into using different sorts of players. There's talk of Mazraoui playing as a midfielder. So Martinez, when he comes back, I mean, it's just, Martinez is just come back off of an ACL. Oh, he's older. This is his third injury, and we're then going to expect him to be this all-action defensive midfielder. This fan base again has been spun around. We've been spun around yet again, and it for me is just this is, as Scott just said there. This is Ineos fear that Amrin will walk as well. And this end to the window. This window, has it been a disaster? Some would argue yes. Some would argue no. And Scott as well, mate. This is one of the things I've been talking about on here, and I've done a show on it as well. It's spin. We've just got to watch the spin. We've been spun around. Ineos and the Glazers have played this all a masterstroke, right? You sign Cunha at the start of the window. You take 7 weeks to do the Mbeumo deal. Foxhound says, I honestly hate 90% of the players. Maguire gets a pass because he's a good guy. Foxhound, agree with you, mate. I other than the new signings, Dorgu, Maguire, and I agree with you. I think Maguire, the crap that he's had to put up with, ability-wise, is not his fault, right? But what Maguire has done and come back, he gets a pass. But everyone else, other than the new signings, yeah, mate, I don't hate them. I think hate's a very, very strong word, but I get it. Scott, really interesting about you talking about the window. A couple of weeks ago when Baliba was on the table, and as a community we were talking about it, and I was saying I think the window is about a 4 or 5, and some people were saying it's an 8 or a 9, and I was saying watch the spin, let's wait to the sort of end of the window, let's see who we sell, let's see, and lo and behold, again, one of the things I've said is that if I'm right, then I'm on this occasion, then I'm wrong. And I think at the moment, I'm proving to myself that my opinion to me is probably going to be correct. And it means that we've lost. I never wanted my opinion to be correct. But it looks like at one point, we all believed that we'd signed 4 to 5 players when Cunha was the only one that we'd actually signed. So this club, we all get sucked in every season. I almost wish United would get relegated so it would reset the club. Foxhound, mate, I don't think it would. Hey, didn't stay for a second half yesterday. It was hell. It wasn't hell. Was it hell? It was just Amish. It's just, if we could put the ball in the back of the net, it would be easier. But it's just that park, mate. It wasn't the best. I almost, even if we got relegated, the club would stay in the same way. Got lucky in third. Amish, we didn't get lucky. Well, we didn't get lucky, and I'll tell you why. That is, I mean, if that's your opinion, and everyone will say that as well, but we didn't get lucky. The problem is, Foxhound, I would take it. If we did go down and it meant the ownership would change, Ineos would leave, these players would leave, then yes, I would. But the players would leave, but the Glazers and the Ineos are not going anywhere. So for me, it can't just be about the playing staff. The change isn't. Whilst I dislike, I'm not saying that I dislike these players as people. I dislike this balance of this team. But for us to have a real shift and for us to be a club again, we need to get rid of the Glazers. And until we get rid of the Glazers, until we get rid of the debt, until we get rid of Ineos, it's not gonna stay the same. And I'm consistent on this, but the problem is that they'll buy a shiny new toy, and in 1958, you know, these guys, you know, the most respected of groups, even they had to cancel their planned march because Ineos went and bought Shesko. So, you know, they are masters. There is no. Do not underestimate the Glazers, Ineos, what they do. And this fan base, certain parts of this fan base, and I don't blame them. Time and time and time again, they just were so starved of. It's almost like you get beaten, battered, whipped, hit, and you are degraded. You are left. You know, they don't care about you, and then they give you a Mars bar, and then all is forgotten. That is exactly what it's like. It's spun, you know, they'll say to you, oh, you know, yeah, we'll feed you tomorrow, we'll give you clothes tomorrow, as they're punching you, as they're whipping you, and then you go, all right, okay. And then like you say, oh, like, you know, we're gonna have some new clothes tomorrow. And then just as you're about to, you know, be you know, like unalived, then they'll give you some water, they give you like a Mars bar. And it's just, you know, that is what they do. They are just parasites, and they spin us round. I have not been drawn into it. I've not been. They've not fooled me this window. And even though when people have come on here, rightly so, one thing that you learn about me, I see all sides. I try to give people a fair view, and this is just my opinion. I've always been of this opinion that this window is not going to be a good one, despite spending all this money. And if you're outside of this club, you'll go, oh, you spent 200 million. That is not it. It's 200 million just to even make us competitive to a point, right? We have been just decimated. We're so lost, and I think this proves it. So for me, if you just joined, Emi Martinez is back on the scene. Lamens, I don't know what's going to go on with him now. So we've made a play. This is according to Fabrizio, that we've made a play for Emi Martinez at Aston Villa. Even if we got relegated, the club would be the same. Got lucky. I don't think Ineos would leave either. I agree. Yesterday wasn't lucky. He was lucky to get. I don't think he was lucky to get the penalty. We had more than enough chances. It's just we left it late, in my opinion. We need to go to the youth setup, focusing on English players and players brought into the academy. The soul's gone, just the business. Now, yeah, Foxhound. I'll give you my opinion. That literally the next step down is. I agree with you. I don't think there would be much to lose by doing this. The problem is, Foxhound, I don't disagree. Relegation would hurt them, but the problem is that if we go down, it just hurts the fans. It doesn't hurt them. It doesn't hurt them. It will hurt them. In fact, I think Championship for a couple of years would actually suit the Glazers down to the ground, because they wouldn't have to spend any money on this squad. You'd be competitive in the Championship. I don't even think they'd want them to come straight back up again. I think it'd be competitive in the Championship. I think they would want them to stay there for a couple of years. We'd still earn a large amount of money. We'd still get sponsors. We'd still earn loads and loads of money. But I think the Championship for the Glazers would actually probably be right. I think they'd actually be okay with it. I don't think anything would happen. I really don't. I think the only people who would suffer would be the fans. It's always been a business. It's just a better run business. 13 years ago, the cracks are starting to show. Exactly. Congrats on the Burnley win, mate. To Kurt, thank you very much, my friend. It was much needed. Niche fan, JB, JB, so Amarin's gone. I can feel it. His body language said as much. I think he's been told that was his last game. We haven't signed the players he needed. The stars have aligned for Jose to come back. Nish fan, my friend, you know I respect your opinions. 100% no, mate. 100% no. Mourinho's not coming back, mate. I mean, I don't even know why anyone would be contemplating this. Why would Mourinho come back? Why would we want Mourinho to come back? I don't get it. Maybe as a number 2, but not as a number 1. It baffles me, Nish fan. You know, you know that I respect your opinion, and opinion is opinion. Why would he come back? I mean, if this club went back down that road, I mean, it's not even like he won us a league. If he'd have won us a league, I get it. I do get it, right? Nish fan, if Amarin's gone, Amarin walks. He doesn't get sacked. Amarin is not getting sacked from this. I'll give you my honest opinion. I'm not going to be on here for too long. I'll give you my honest opinion on Amarin right now, and it does go to it does go into something that I've said. I'm going to back him. I'm going to back him. I'm going to back him. But I'll give you my opinion on Amarin as well. Kieran Decan says, Man United is a joke. The team needed an own goal and VAR for you to win. Well, that's not true, is it, Kieran? I mean, if you actually watch football, did you not see the 26? Like, we had 26 shots, should have probably scored 4. So it wasn't a lucky own goal. So it wasn't like Burnley took the ball and suddenly turned around and kicked it into their own net. It was from a corner. We pressurised the corner. So we deserved the goal. We'd hit the post countless of times. Xerxes should have scored. Ahmed should have scored. Cunha should have scored. We all should have scored. We could have scored at least 4 goals. And VAR, well, so let's be like clear in this. VAR denied us a penalty and then gave us a penalty. So, Kieran, in my opinion, I think you're talking out of your back end, but that's your opinion. I'm a Barcelona fan. It hurt probably the same days when 2018, 2020, you just need to turn your academy, I believe. The problem is, mate, we're just so far behind the academy players. They just can't do it, mate. You no disrespect to the Spanish league. I think the Spanish league, you're able to blood more younger players because I think of the overall quality of the league. I'm not saying that it's a bad league. It's just a different quality of the league. In the Premier League, it's definitely harder to do that. But I really, really hope. I would argue that what is happening now is the worst for the fans. One thing I love about the Championship is more grassroots feel. Something United has none of now. I agree, Fox. I mean, mate, I don't disagree, but I do think if we go to the Championship, the Glazers win because I think the Championship for them is perfect. Perfect. Revenue streams will go down slightly. They won't have to spend any money on this squad. The wage cap will come in. They'll be able to get rid of a load of big players. The Championship for me will hurt fans because can you imagine the banter? It will destroy this fan base. It will absolutely destroy it. But I do get, Foxhound, what you're saying. But imagine playing Wrexham. Like, no disrespect to Wrexham, but imagine we go down. Imagine that Reynolds against the Glazers. I mean, they'd make more money just out of the social media spin. I mean, it'll be carnage for fans. I don't want Jose to come back. No, the manager's not the issue. I agree. I mean, you swap too many managers to even count. It can't be all. I agree with you. It is definitely not the manager, mate. It's not. It is the ownership and it's the players. And it's definitely not the coach, mate. The owners and the players are to blame. The simple system can't exactly because he's asked for a CM and keeper. JB, he had his feet up the wall. He looked dejected after the game. I'm backing him, but I've never seen him with his feet up on the wall like that. He's fan yet. I don't disagree. I'm not disagreeing, but he's not getting sacked. He'll walk. That is for me is the thing. I think he'll walk. Lino de Yaya, hello. I'm 14. And my dream is to be a soccer player. I can do many things, such as helping my team defensively, There are some qualities. I don't speak English very well, but I can. Well, welcome to the channel, my friend. I hope you're doing really, really well. What can you do for me? There's not a lot that I can do with it, mate. 14 years old, mate. The only I can't do anything. There's nothing that I could do. Even if I had like a segue into the club or any club, mate, there's nothing that I can do. The only thing that you can do is you need to work very, very hard, be consistent, keep working really, really hard. 14 years old, you've got the world at your feet, my friend. Just work hard. If you work hard, you will go far. I would say to you in life, yes, you do need to know people, but don't rely on other people for your success. Rely on you. You work hard, and I promise you, you will go far. Don't rely and ask what people can do for you. People, eventually, if you're good enough, people will come and support you. But you need to quickly realize, my friend, that you need to work very hard. Get your head down, do your schoolwork first, and then do the football stuff. And I promise you, if you are good enough, you will get far. Kieran says, get over it, mate. Kieran, I think you're a wally, mate. You know, I'm not a dictator of the chat. I'm not going to go mental and mad and tell you to do one, blah, 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 blah. Kieran, you're just showing your own personality here. I mean, I don't need to do anything else, but you know, you come into this amazing chat, an opportunity for you to voice an opinion. You know, I get you don't like the club, but if you can use better words and tell me why that this club isn't great, I'll more than happily debate it out with you. More than happily. But to come on here and then try and get a rise out of people, it really just goes to show the level that you are. So I don't need to do really much of that, guy. You just have to accept you are not the same team as before and build up from there. Akatek, I agree with you, mate. I've accepted this for the last 13 years. We're not the same team. We've not been the same team for 13 years. We've been trying to do this, mate. We've been trying to build this team up for 13 years. You know, why? This is why we sack a manager, we like hire a manager, we sack a manager, because we're trying to rebuild. And every time we don't learn, you know. And I'm not going to have a pop at you, but like to Barcelona, the reason why they are in existence is because they're able to manipulate the Spanish league, right? You know. I get it. You have a proud team. I've been to the new camp. They're a fantastic team, fantastic, you know, passionate fans, you know, but let's not pretend that our team is the only team that, you know, sort of had to rebuild. You know, like so Barcelona is still not the team they once were. You know, you've had to pull levers to, you know, to survive as a club. You know, you were hundreds and hundreds of £1 million in debt. So, you know, I get it. I do get it. But there's a saying that people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. And Barcelona is still not the club that they once were. That's all I'm saying. If he walks, it will be down to the owners and the team. I agree with you. A fresh start, Sancho and Anthony will walk back into the team. Exactly. We can't be talking about the championship. It's insanity. The share price will tank. This fan, I mean, just to be honest with you, I mean, it's a conversation I don't want to be having, right? But you know, I think that it as an observational conversation, I think it's an interesting one to have, because let's be fair, we finished 15th last season, so I don't think we will go down, but I think it's an interesting observation to have. Season starting without a defensive midfielder, United wouldn't even win the championship. Keep going, Kieran, mate. It's no problem. JB, we know we need that good at the moment, but to get relegated, I don't think we will, Neil. I don't think we will, mate. I really don't think we will. I bet you like to pull. Honestly, just there are people. It's Sunday morning. People who just think they're funny. Kieran, you're not a fan. Who's your team? Exactly. Who cares? MMU, yes, JB. Good morning, my friend. Barada and Wilcox looked unhappy yesterday. Yes, they did. If Amrin doesn't get a goalkeeper and CM, he'll walk. on Tuesday. It will be all the rest of exactly, Scott. I am going to come to the end of the show really, really soon, but yeah, we can talk about that. As Barcelona will always produce excellent young players, so even if they're in financial crisis, their own number 9, 10, their own player 9 times out of 10 will get them out of exactly. Architect says, I mean, Barcelona is broke, but still competitive, and the presidency in the place. All I've accepted that we are not the same as before. This is why we're building it. No, I can't. I am not disrespecting your opinion. I'm not disrespecting your club. You have probably one of the best youth setups as a club, poorly run historically in terms of you bought Suarez and all those kinds of big players, and they just didn't work out, right? But now again, you're going back to your roots. You're bringing your players through. You're doing some great stuff again, some fantastic players, and you're doing it the right way. And Barcelona, when the financial stuff is over, you'll be a force again. But I think what you've done is I think you've learnt this time. So again, I wish that we would almost follow, not the same, but I'd almost wish that we would take a leaf out of your book and just go, look, we're trying to, but the problem is when you've got owners like ours who are just absolute snakes, it just won't happen. Lucky seeing Garnacho, Rasmus, Haaland to get us midfield straight away, but it's not happening, mate. It's not happening, Scott. I think he's been sacked, unfortunately. I don't think he's going to get sacked, Nish. I don't think he will. I think he'll walk. So do you think he will walk rather than getting sacked? Would it make a difference? I'd rather he walk. If he gets sacked again, it's just another mistake. I don't want either. If he walks, I think it just absolutely annihilates Ineos and the Glazers. If he gets sacked, it just goes to show what we've become as a club, right? But looking at him, I think you guys are right. I think he just looks like I don't know. I just think he looks like he's been busted. He not been sacked. Ineos fear that he'll walk exactly. Scott, I'm Birmingham. Are you from Birmingham? More lover. They are being contradiction of him. Mainly the narrative is he only wants players who will be there. Mainly wants to go on loan. So why is he even playing him? Money, niche fan. Money. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Have you seen Carreras and how good he was today against Madrid? He was once, that's exactly what I was saying, my friend, at the top of the show. I did see him left back, and I think that's a fantastic point. That's what I did say at the start of the show, was that it was absolutely ridiculous. So I'm going to go, guys. What I'm going to say is a couple of things. I'm going to say, if you have just joined, breaking news: Emi Martinez is back on the agenda. I don't know the details. That's from Ornstein. Red Devils said we need to go for Martinez. He's a leader at the back. He's also probably the best shot stopper in the world. I think you may get your wish on that one. So let's see. And one of my final thoughts on Amarin before I go. I'm worried right now. I'm not worried about Amarin in terms of his formation and that kind of stuff. I think he's the right coach. Categorically, he is not the problem. The formation is not the problem. The tactics are not the problem. The problem in this team are the Glazers, Ineos, and the players. Ultimately, he's not been backed completely. People are going to say, 200 million is backed, but it's not, and it absolutely isn't being backed at all. So, Amarin, in my opinion, might possibly walk. Depends on what happens in this window. He may walk. Let's see what happens. Welcome to Christopher Heap. So I'm going to go to a quick show today, guys. Lots and lots of stuff to do today. If anything major breaks, I might jump back on again. Things to do today. It's a busy day. Thank you guys for watching. As I always say to you guys, just thank you so much for being here. It does mean a lot for you guys to be here. Yeah, I mean, it just blows my mind every single time you guys give your time to me, time to each other. And yeah, it's just Amazing, amazing. Thank you guys for being here. Have a good rest of your day, morning, evening, whatever you're doing. Take care of each other, take care of your families, and I will see you on the next one. Don't forget to update me in comments and that kind of stuff about things that happen. And I'll see you very, very soon. Have a great day. See you on the next one. Take care, guys.